I'm Dan Drake. This is Front Up on Visitor Network TV. And with us today is Bob Gardner, the
Morning, Dan.
General Manager of the Wannacomet Water Company. And you're making some big news these days, Bob. What's going on?
Well, yeah.
I mean, look, you've got the sewer problems, but we're not going to talk about those.
Thank you.
You've got the story about the hospital, and that's the big thing.
That's the big story. It's such an exciting story.
How did it all start?
Well, it started with a call from the hospital saying, "Do you think your property could be used to site a new hospital?" So after I picked myself up off the floor and thought about it for a moment and looked at the property and got back to them and said, "We need to talk some more. I think there's some possibility here." And what makes it attractive is the hospital. It is like no other organization on this island and what it means to the island, what it means to all of us. And Wannacomet, since 1880, has been committed to public water supply. And the young man that started at Moses Joy had a vision. He had relatives that passed away from cholera. He wanted to create a public water supply that would do away with waterborne disease, and he did. So it's sort of that vision is now, I think,
being
part
taken
of this whole process. And the Water Commission responded favorably to that, very favorably. There are some conditions. You know, it can't impact water supply.
Right.
First, foremost, and forever. It can't cost the ratepayer any money.
Right.
And
would there be rent involved?
No, I think we're looking at, and it's way early in the process, but we're looking at an exchange of services for space, for some of our administration operation facilities would have to be relocated. So that's part of that no cost to the ratepayer issue. But this is too big and too meaningful to the island that we can't really put our efforts
So
into.
the idea is to go approximately where your offices and maintenance facilities are
from
now?
there, about half of the property's 48 acres, and it would take that front 20 acres. So it would be a little triangle.
Are the wells in the front 20 acres and the back?
There are some wells in the front 20 acres. Preliminary discussions with DEP indicate that moving them is not a regulatory hurdle, and engineering-wise, it's real easy. In fact, it's the 1914 well field that we have plans to upgrade anyway. So here's an opportunity. If we can improve water supply, improve the health care provided to the island.
I mean, presumably a lot of that area would be hard surfaced.
It would be
certainly where the buildings.
Yeah, parking is a big issue.
And the building footprint.
And it would be, that would fall within, then it would fall within the current Zone 2 Wellhead Protection District, which has real strict standards for if you pave, this is how you need to treat the stormwater, collect it, treat it, recharge. All issues to consider, you know.
What kind of reception has the rest of the town given this idea?
Well,
I don't mean the town, the community. I mean
the
town, the Board of Selectmen, the town manager, and so forth. What's
other than issuing them a preliminary press release to get, so that they're not blindsided on the street. You know, sometimes it's hard on Nantucket to keep things under the cover till you want them released, but
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So I think it's positive. I've talked with Andrew Vorse, who has a positive outlook on this, and certainly he and his staff will be heavily involved as we go down through this permitting process. It's incumbent upon certainly the water company and the hospital to really keep that lines of communication open. This is a community effort, I believe. It's not. I like the comment that Mary Ann Stanton had in her editorial this morning. It's the water company and the hospital have opened the door. Now the community needs to step through that door and work together with everyone to see if we can't make this happen.
As I recall, they're preliminary plan was to start construction about a year from now, maybe 15 months from now. Is that doable if they use your space because of the permitting and so forth?
It would be. I don't. Anything's. It would be real tough to meet that schedule. I think there's just the permitting for natural heritage.
Right.
It's mapped habitat. That's not an easy permitting process. Right. I think the issue of water supply is more easily addressed than that issue.
Really?
So
yeah.
there's that. There's some zoning changes that will have to be made. That takes 2/3 vote of the voters.
Will those be presented next year to town meeting, as far as you know?
That may happen
soon.
then. I had preliminary conversation with Andrew, and we need to. He and I are going to sit down and do a flow chart of the permitting and attach some possible, timeline to that. But everyone needs to get involved in the process. But it's just an opportunity for greatness for this community.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good, and you'll keep us posted as it goes forward.
I will.
If there's
It's going to be. We're going to move. Certainly, the water supply issue and the natural heritage issue. The hospital has made their engineering and architectural staff available. Whatever we need, we'll get it done.
Good.
Off and running.
All right, off and running. Let's change subjects here.
Okay,
and let's talk about the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
You are stepping down in your role there.
I am. I will. I've been president for a year, and I will turn the reins over to Bill Farrell at the end of September, and Bill will be the incoming president.
What do you think of all this idea of potentially combining the chamber and visitor services and so forth that's been presented by Actown?
Well, I think the most important thing to remember is the chamber's response to all this, and our letter to the town manager is a response to the proposal put forth by Actown. There's not a out of the blue power grab by the chamber. Actown made I think a very professional proposal. The chamber responded to that, and I think the ball is now in the town leaders' hands. How do the Board of Selectmen and the town administration want to proceed, or how are they going to address this report? The chamber just wants to be part of that process.
Can you explain, so there's people out there that don't know what this Actown's all about.
All right.
Can you go into that so that people out there that are seeing this for the first time?
Okay, good point.
Yeah.
The Actown proposal, as I understand it, is to essentially play on synergies that they perceive would occur as a result of principally the merger of the chamber and the town visitor services department.
Yeah, it's more a proposal to take the functions that they do and put them into a new agency with a governing board and a new executive director.
Would this be a town entity or a private?
That remains to be seen, but quasi-town, quasi-municipal.
A public-private partnership, as it were.
Exactly. So it would just address tourism, recreation, and economic development, and perhaps that all of the energies put forth into getting funding and doing different of the functions in these areas could be more efficiently done by a single agency.
But an important part of the chamber's role, as I understand it, is in essentially business promotion for its members.
Correct. Absolutely.
And how would that work under this proposal?
Under the proposal that was presented to the chamber board, that would be handled by underneath the executive director, a marketing director, and a member services. We also are a member-driven 600 members of the chamber. And so to meet those commitments to the members, there would be, if you will, managers of marketing, of member services, of events. So by bringing them all into an umbrella organization, it supposedly would make everything a little more efficient according to their proposal. The chamber feels that we're in a position now staff, with infrastructure, with our relationship with the state. We are one of 14 regional tourism councils, so we receive significant excess of $300,000 funding from the state to market Nantucket.
Right. And Visitor Services gets some money to do that as well.
And they get money from
the
taxes, right? Yeah,
tax and so forth, road
they
tax.
get money to, in the general sense, take care of people while they're here. We get them here, they take care of them while we're here, but we're more than that. The Chamber also has that member component. We've done over 50 workshops this year for our members. We've really reached out to try to find out what the members want so we can be more relevant to them.
What do you think has been your greatest accomplishment in your year at the helm of the Chamber?
I think my greatest accomplishment has been really working to get a stable staff, recognize the abilities of the staff that have really taken the Chamber from a rough patch when we were in between executive directors and really economy was down, and been able to secure and encourage the staff and support the staff and get the board to work together, cut board meetings from a couple hours to an hour, really have gotten, I think we, the executive board, myself, it's a team. We've really, I think, stepped up to the plate this year.
Good. Bob Gardner, thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan.
Wearing many hats, I might add.
Yeah.
Thanks. Good to have you.
Thanks.